Dear students, in today's class, let us study about parallel operation of two transformers with unequal voltage ratios. Okay, so here the two transformers, transformer T1 having resistance R1 and reactance X1. Similarly, another transformer T2 having resistance R2 and X2 reactance. Both they are connected in parallel to supply the common load. But here the induced EMF in transformer 1 is E1 and induced EMF in transformer 2 is E2, and both these voltages are not equal, they are unequal. Okay, so in the previous session we have discussed about load sharing of two parallelly connected transformers with equal voltage ratios, that is E1 is equal to E2 is equal to E. But now in this case both the transformers they're having unequal voltage ratios, that is first transformer induced EMF E1 is not equal to second transformer induced EMF E2. E1 is not equal to E2. In this case, what is the load shared by first transformer and what is the load shared by second transformer for the common connected load that we will analyze here. Okay, now let us see the explanation part of this. Consider the case of two transformers working in parallel and having unequal voltage ratio. Okay, so here this is a circuit diagram for two parallelly connected transformers supplying the common load with unequal voltage ratio E1 not equal to E2, right? Voltage ratios of the two transformers are not equal, that is E1 is not equal to E2. Then parallel operation under this case is still possible. Even though voltage ratios are not equal, but still we can get the operation of parallel operation. Okay. But as seen previously, there would be a circulating current under no load condition. But in the earlier case, when both the transformers are made up of same or having equal voltage ratio, then their circulating current IC is equal to 0. But now, because of the more or less voltages, that is E1 not equal to E2, there will be some circulating current during no load condition in this loop. So now circulating current IC will come into picture here. Okay, but as seen previously, there would be a circulating current IC under no load condition, even though you don't connect any load, but still because of mismatch in the voltages in the induced mismatch in the induced EMFs, that will cause circulating current IC to flow through this loop. Okay, and let us consider voltage ratio of transformer 1 is slightly more than transformer 2, means transformation ratio of first transformer is greater than second transformer, the transformation ratio, so that induced EMF E1 is greater than E2. If transformation ratio of first transformer K1 is greater than second transformer transformation ratio K2, in that case induced EMF E1 becomes greater than E2. E1 becomes greater than E2, and the condition here is E1 not equal to E2. Okay. Thus, the resultant terminal voltage will be E1 minus E2, which will cause a circulating current under no load condition. So, since E1 is greater than E2, so difference of these two induced EMFs, that is E1 minus E2, this will cause circulating current IC to flow through in this loop, that too under no load condition. So, what is the circulating current value that we can see here? Circulating current IC is given by the formula difference of the two induced EMF, that is E1 minus E2, divided by impedance of first transformer, that is Z1, plus impedance of second transformer, that is Z2. So circulating current that is flowing in this loop because of difference in the voltages, then that circulating current is given by the formula IC is equal to difference of the two EMFs, that is E1 minus E2, divided by sum of the two transformer impedances, that is Z1 plus Z2. Z1 means combination of R1 plus JX1, that is resistance and reactance of first transformer, whereas Z2 is combination of R2 plus JX2, that is resistance and reactance of second transformer, which are connected in parallel to each other. Okay, then from the circuit diagram we have E1 is equal to V2 plus I1 Z1. So induced EMF of first transformer E1 is given by the formula V2. V2 means load terminal voltage plus drop in the first transformer, that is I1 into Z1. So the value of E1 is equal to I1 into Z1 plus V2. Similarly, induced EMF in the second transformer E2 is equal to 1 second load terminal voltage V2 plus drop in the second transformer, that is I2 into Z2. So the value of E2 is equal to I2 into Z2 plus V2. Just you need to apply KVL to this loop. Then load terminal current IL is equal to I1 plus I2. So you can see here, this is the first load shared by first transformer. So load shared by first transformer is given by the current value I1. Similarly, load shared by second transformer is given by the current value I2. So if you apply KCL at this point, sum of current I1 plus sum of current I2, that is load shared by first transformer and load shared by second transformer. At this point here, there is no notation for IL, but here you can see that we should draw IL notation here. So this will be IL. So IL is equal to vector sum of I1 plus I2. IL is nothing but current that is flowing through the load. That is, it is a sum of current I1, that is current I1 is load shared by first transformer, and current I2, that is load shared by second transformer. So sum of I1 plus I2 is load current IL that is flowing through this load. Okay. Then V2, that is load terminal voltage V2 is equal to IL into ZL. So here in this diagram here there is no notation symbol for IL, but here you should represent it as IL. So what is that? And load is denoted as ZL. Load is ZL and this is IL. So V is nothing but what? Product of current into impedance. So current here it will be IL, and load you can represent it as ZL. So product of IL into ZL will be load voltage V2. V2 is equal to IL into ZL. But we know that IL value is I1 plus I2 into ZL. Okay. Then once again, you can make use of the E1 value. E1 value is what? E1 is given by V2 plus I1 Z1. So V2 can be written it as IL into ZL, where IL is given by I1 plus I2. So in place of this V2, we are going to make use of I1 plus I2 into ZL plus as it is I1 Z1. Similarly, make use of induced EMF E2 formula and replace V2 by this expression I1 plus I2 into ZL, because V2 is nothing but I1 plus I2 into ZL. So this expression you can replace here. So E2 becomes I1 plus I2 into ZL plus I2 Z2 as it is. So E1 expression you call it as equation A, E2 expression you call it as equation B. Okay, then let us see the things. Subtracting equations A and B, we have, so subtracting equation A is given for induced EMF of first transformer E1, and equation B is induced EMF of second transformer. So difference of E1 minus E2 means like terms will be cancelling. So I1 plus I2 into ZL minus of I1 plus I2 into ZL, this will cancel. Remaining will be simply I1 Z1 minus I2 Z2. So from this expression, we are going to get I1 value as E1 minus E2 plus I2 Z2 whole divided by Z1. So this is load shared by first transformer. The value of I1 is load shared by first transformer, or current that is transferred by the first transformer is I1 is equal to difference of the two EMFs, that is E1 plus E1 minus E2 plus I2 into ZL whole divided by Z1. Right. So now the value of I1 you can substitute in equation B. Let us see the things here. Substituting this value means value of I1 in equation B. In equation B means this is the equation for E2. So in this E2, here there is a I1 term you can see. So for this I1 term, substitute by this E1 minus E2 plus I2 Z2 whole divided by Z1. Right. So then equation becomes E2 is equal to I2 Z2, keep it as it is. This I2 Z2, whatever you are seeing here, this you can keep it as it is. Now the value of I1 you can substitute by this whole expression. Then it becomes E1 minus E2 plus I2 Z2 whole divided by Z1 plus I2 into ZL. Okay, so wherever I1 term is appearing, there you can replace this by E1 minus E2 plus I2 into Z2, E1 minus E2 plus I2 into Z2 whole divided by Z1 plus I2 into ZL. After this, you need to simplify this equation. So after simplifying, we are going to get the value for load shared by second transformer or current supplied by the second transformer, that is I2. So the value of I2 will be E2 into Z1 minus E1 minus E2 into ZL whole divided by Z1 plus Z2 plus ZL into Z1 plus Z2. So this is load shared by first transformer. Similarly, on this, using this equation, we can write load shared by first transformer I1. I1 is given as E1 Z2 plus E1 minus Z E2 into ZL whole divided by Z1 Z2 plus ZL into Z1 plus Z2. Now, this is load shared by second transformer and this is load shared by first transformer. Now, we need to add these two equations. So, load shared by second transformer, that is I2, load shared by first transformer I1. So, on adding I2 and I1, we are going to get total load current, that is IL, because I1 plus I2 is nothing but IL. So, on adding these two equations I2 plus I1 or I1 plus I2, we are going to get IL value. So I1 plus I2 is equal to IL. So if you add these two terms, then whichever they are having a similar and opposite symbol or opposite sign, they are getting cancelled with each other, and only remaining thing will be IL is equal to E1 into Z2 plus E2 into Z1 whole divided by Z1 plus Z2 plus ZL into Z1 plus Z2. So this is the expression for IL. Okay, so this is the expression for total load current. Total load current means which is the sum of I1 plus I2. Okay. Now we know that load voltage V2 is given by product of load voltage into load impedance, that is IL into ZL. So now for this expression, we already have got IL value, IL given by this expression. So now dividing both numerator and denominator of equation C. Equation C means this is the equation for total load current IL. So by what expression we should divide? We should divide it by product of two impedances, that is Z1 and Z2. Dividing both numerator and denominator of equation C by Z1, Z2. So already this is our IL value. IL is equal to, what is numerator here? Numerator is E1 Z2 plus E2 Z1. So for if this is my numerator part, then for this numerator part divided by Z1 Z2. In that case, Z2 Z2 will cancel. Then remaining will be simply E1 by Z1. Similarly, Z1 Z1 will cancel. Remaining will be simply E2 by Z2. Similarly, on the secondary side, on the denominator side, Z1 Z2 it is already there. So Z1 Z2 means divided by Z1 Z2 means this will be simply 1. Remaining will be what? ZL into Z1 plus Z2 whole divided by Z1 Z2. So this will be the expression for the total load current. So on rearranging the terms once again, so load current IL is given by E1 Z1 plus E2 Z2. Numerator will be same, divided by 1 plus. So simplify this these brackets. So you will be getting what? ZL by Z2 plus ZL by Z1. Okay, so this is the total load current, that is IL. So now once again make use of load voltage formula. Load voltage formula is V2 is equal to IL into ZL. So V2 is equal to IL into ZL. So already ZL is, this is my load impedance, and already we have calculated for load current IL. So IL value is this. So replace this IL value by this. So that is E1 by Z1 plus E2 by Z2 whole divided by 1 plus ZL by Z2 plus ZL by Z1. So this is my IL value and this is our load impedance. So after simplifying this V2, we will be getting E1 by Z1 plus E2 by Z2 whole divided by 1 upon ZL plus 1 upon Z2 plus 1 upon Z1. Right. So this is the load terminal voltage. Right. And then let us make certain assumptions here. So those assumptions we can see here. If impedances Z1 and Z2 are small in comparison with load impedance ZL. So if we assume that individual impedance of transformer 1, that is Z1, and individual impedance of transformer 2 Z2, if they are too small in comparison with the load impedance ZL, then product Z1 Z2 can be neglected. Then Z1 Z2 may be neglected, so we get. So now if we neglect the magnitude of Z1 and Z2, if they are very small in comparison with the load impedance, then the value of the product of Z1 and Z2 will be almost 0. Then in that case, our expression for I1 and I2 will change now. So I1, here you can see that there is Z1 and Z2. This you can neglect it. Similarly, in the I2 value, there is a term called as Z1 and Z2. Once again, here also you can neglect this product. Then rest of the things you can write it as it is. Okay. So in that case, our new modified equation formula for I1 will be, after neglecting Z1 and Z2 from this expression, I2 is equal to E2 Z1 minus E1 minus E2 ZL whole divided by Z1 Z2. This you can neglect it. Similarly, here also for I1 expression, you can neglect the value of Z1 Z2 because the product of Z1 and Z2 is very small in comparison with the load impedance ZL. But taking that assumption, we are neglecting the value of Z1 Z2 here. In that case, the new formula for I1 and I2 will become I1 is equal to E1 Z2 whole divided by ZL into Z1 plus Z2 plus of E1 minus E2 divided by Z1 plus Z2. Similarly, load shared by second transformer will be, that is I2 will be E2 into Z1 whole divided by ZL into Z1 plus Z2 minus of E1 minus E2 divided by Z1 plus Z2. So the very interesting thing in this concept is that since the two transformers, they are having unequal voltage ratios, and also we have seen that because of the unequal voltage ratio, there is a circulating current IC will flow in the loop even under no load condition, which is given by IC is equal to E1 minus E2 whole divided by Z1 plus Z2. E1 minus E2 whole divided by Z1 plus Z2. So now the first transformer will carry charging current, will circulate charging current. Similarly, second transformer minus sign is it is free from circulating current. It means that first transformer will be having more burden and second transformer will be having less burden because of unequal voltage ratios. So E1 minus E2 divided by Z1 plus Z2 means what? This is nothing but charging current IC. So load shared by first transformer will be E1 Z2 whole divided by Z1 ZL into Z1 plus Z2 plus of IC. Plus IC means this first transformer is overloaded with the charging current. Similarly, second transformer minus IC means it is free from charging current. So because of unequal voltage ratio, for one transformer may be having more burden and another transformer will be having less burden. But still we can see that there is a parallel operation that will take place. Okay. Now, but we know that E1 minus E2 whole divided by Z1 plus Z2 is nothing but IC, that is charging current. Okay. So this charging current gets added for the first transformer and it is getting deducted from the second transformer. And getting added means first transformer will be having more burden and second transformer will be having less burden. That is the meaning. Key point. This circulating current IC adds to I1 but subtract from I2 means first transformer it gets added and it is free from second transformer. Hence transformer 1 gets overloaded or it is getting more burden. The two transformers will not share the load according to their ratings. So now because of the mismatch in the kV voltage ratios, they will not share the equal load sharing. They will not share the equal loadings according to their ratings. Okay. Now the phasor diagram for this will be, first we should take load terminal voltage. So this is my load terminal voltage V2 and a drop of the first transformer I1 R1 resistive drop from the tip of V2. First we will indicate what is that. If we refer back this diagram, circuit diagram, E2 is equal to I2R2 plus I2X2 plus V2. Similarly, E1 is equal to I1R1 plus I1X1 plus V2. So now first we are taking this V2 as the reference and this is our I2 and this is our I1. So vector sum of I1 and I2 is IL here. IL is not shown, but here we should write and represent it for load current IL. Okay. And this is load impedance ZL. The IL and ZL you should mention it. Okay. So now first we will take load terminal voltage V2. and we will first mark for first transformer voltage drops. So taking V2 as a reference, first transformer resistive drop from the tip of V2. Resistive drop means this is my I1R1. I1R1 means how to represent. So if this first transformer current I1 lags to the low terminal voltage V2 by an angle of pi 1. Similarly, second transformer current I2 lags to the low terminal voltage by an angle of pi 2. This is pi 2. And vector sum of first transformer and current and second vector sum of second transformer current I1 plus I2 is nothing but total load current I. So I is nothing but vector sum of I1 plus I2, and angle between I1 and V2 will be pi 1. Similarly, angle between I2 and V2 will be pi 2. Okay. So vector sum of I2 and I1 will be I. So now first we should represent drops because of first transformer, resistive drop. So from the tip of V2 indicate resistive drop. Resistive drop means always it will be in phase with the current I1. So if this is my current direction of I1, parallel to that we should show it for I1R1. Then 90-degree ahead will be reactive drop, first transformer reactive drop, that will be I1X1. So a vector sum of I1R1 and I1X1 will be I1, it will be what? It will be I1Z1. So this dotted line is nothing but I1Z1. So now vector sum of V2, I1R1, I1X1, this will be simply what? This will be E1. This will be E1 because E1 is equal to I1X1 plus I1R1 plus V2. Similarly, we will indicate now second transformer in using the phasor diagram. So now second transformer means load shared by second transformer. So this is I2 which is lagging to V2 by an angle of pi 2. So in parallel to the I2 we should represent resistive drop of second transformer, that is I2R2. So from the tip of V2 we are representing I2R2 drop. So the direction of I2R2, this is resistive drop means this should be in parallel with the direction of I2. If this is my I2, in parallel to that we should represent I2R2. Then 90-degree ahead to that will be I2X2. I2R2, I2X2, its combination is dotted line. Its dotted line is I2Z2. I2Z2. So now vector sum of V2, I2R2 plus I2X2 is induced EMF E2. So this is induced EMF of second transformer E2, and this is induced EMF of first transformer, that is E1. So both E1 is not equal to E2. E1 is not equal to E2. Okay, so this is the phasor diagram for your parallel operation of two transformers with unequal voltage ratio. If they are having equal voltage ratios means E2 and E1, they both will coincide with each other, like in the previous case where with equal voltage ratio. But now voltage ratios are not equal. E1 is not equal to E2. So this is my E1 and this is my E2. Both are not equal to each other. Okay. Then the two transformers will operate at different power factor. Pi 1 and pi 2 are the power factor angles of these transformers, where pi is the combined power factor angle. So you can see here first transformer power factor, that is pi 1. Pi 1 means the angle between I1 and V2 will be pi, that is pi 1. Similarly, angle between I2 and V2 will be pi 2. Okay, and the combined power factor angle means the angle between total load current IL with V2. The angle between this, if you take it as IL with respect to V2 will be pi. Pi means actually you should start it from here. There is some sprint. Pi will be starting from this point till here. From this point till to this point. This will be pi. Okay. So both the transformers are operating at different power factors. Pi 1 is power factor angle of first transformer and pi 2 is the power factor angle of second transformer, and combined load power factor is pi. Here EA and EB have the same phase, but there may be some phase difference between the two due to some difference of internal connection as for the connection in parallel of a star star and a star delta three-phase transformer. So here EA and EB, EA means E1, EB means E2. They may have same phase, but there will be some phase difference. The phase difference is because of the type of connection, what they are connected. If they are connected using star star or star delta, then which are connected in parallel, then in that case you may find that there will be some phase difference. Okay, but make sure that both these transformers are operating at different power factor angle, that is pi 1 and pi 2, and combined power factor angle will be pi. Okay. So this is the what is that explanation for your explanation for load shared by two transformers parallelly connected, and that too having unequal voltage ratios. So key point you can see here, while solving the problems on parallel operation of transformers, it is convenient to work with numerical values of impedances instead of percentage values. So when we are going to solve the problems, it is better to make use of impedance values instead of percentage values. This is the key point. So till here you should write the expression explanation. Okay, till here you should write the explanation. What is that? Till star delta three-phase transformers. So what all things you should write is, first you draw this circuit diagram and write all the explanation, then IC, and one more thing what you have to remember is the mention for IL and ZL. Load is ZL and this current is IL, and write all these things, followed by that all these equations, then this and all these equations. Finally, draw this phasor diagram and write till here. So this is the explanation for your load shared by two transformers which are connected in parallel and that to having unequal voltage ratios. Okay.